Hiya, I hope you're keeping well. I really fancied just having like a big chat today, and I've been meaning to do a video to show you some new fake tans that I discovered kind of over the last few months, and they've been sat in a bag for ages, and today is the day, I think. I've been meaning to do this video for a really long while and generally actually just have a bit of a chat. So if you are like regularly on my page or you've been with me for a while, you'll definitely be aware I used to always make loads and loads of videos, but I just haven't been able to do that this year. I've had lots going on in my personal life, and this is my favourite hobby, to make the videos, but it's just kind of been a bit of a year of it, in all honesty. And I love beauty, you know I love beauty, I love talking to you about it. But this year, because I've been caring for an unwell family member and like I've had an awful lot of things going on, I haven't been wearing makeup as much, I haven't been doing my hair as much. So as well, like say ordinarily if I was making a video, I might be going to the pub or something that night, so while I'm getting ready I would just like film the makeup tutorial, and I haven't been doing that. But one thing that I have absolutely done for myself, no matter what is going on, is done my tan. And it's something that I don't really maybe share videos about as much, but tan is something that in my routine makes me feel really put together. If I don't have any makeup on, it just makes me feel like I look a bit more rested than I am. And actually, this is something that always comes up if I talk to people about rosacea. As you know, here's me like, I've probably never mentioned rosacea before, but I speak so much about rosacea, which is a skin condition that causes inflammation in the skin. And so on me, because I'm fair, that inflammation presents as redness and flushing. So I have really, really fair skin, and then these patches of what can be quite aggressive red, depending on how flared up my skin is. When I put tan on, it helps to bridge the gap between the really fair skin and the really red prominent patches. And so tan is something that just makes me feel a lot more confident. I'm also like curvy as well, and I think if anyone is watching this that is maybe a bit curvier, you'll know how like that lick of tan maybe just makes you feel that bit more confident in yourself. Like it's a really, really important part of my routine basically that I probably never give enough credit to. And no matter what's happened this year, my tan has been my thing that I've done, even if I'm not doing my hair and makeup. So that in mind, I'm actually so stuck in the mud with my tans, and I very rarely change what I use. I have found some new ones this year that I really love, but actually this year I've tried lots of different tans, and I've reminded myself why I don't stray from my favourites, because I have tried so many bad tans this year that I've never been more in my conviction that I'm going to stay exactly where I am. So that in mind, let me go through like what am I trying to say? I made a promise to myself, by the way, that I'm not going to edit this video because I just don't have the time. But it's things like that that have been making me not post, because it's actually the editing that takes so long as well. But if I just have a chat with you and I don't need to edit it, we're fine. So sorry, you've got me on a bit of a rambly day, but let me go through. So the first thing I would say comes up a lot is, which facial tan can I use that doesn't exacerbate my rosacea? Now, everyone's rosacea is different. So if you have rosacea, I would just say, depending on how angry it is or settled it is at the moment, do discuss it with a medical professional. However, this is what I use that I get on really well with. There is so much background noise today, so I'm just going to carry on and hope that it's not distracting you as much as it is me, but there we go. James Reed's Click and Glow drops, I absolutely love. I use them religiously. Now, the great thing with his drops is you mix them into your moisturiser, a few drops. I use mine a few times a week, and they give you the most lovely glow by the morning. But in particular, if you're managing something within your skin, you can just use whatever you're already using. Personally, I'm very nearly at the bottom of this. I tend to use the Avene Hyaluron ActivB3. This is my current combo. lovely rich buttery moisturiser. And that's another thing I'd say about James's drops is even if you use something rich, if you've got dry skin, it won't impact how nice and pigmented the drops are. They actually have vitamin C in them as well, but it doesn't hurt my skin in any way. I'm actually out of breath from all the rambling on. Now, this is how incredibly lazy I am. In theory, you put your drops and your moisturiser and you mix it and put it all over. But actually, I have likely already done my arms, so I can't wash my hands because I've just done my arms. So what I do, it's the only time you will ever see me like pipette the product directly onto my skin. You always see content creators doing this, and I totally get why they're doing it. It's because it looks more appealing on screen. Now, if you watch any tutorial of mine, I'm not throwing stones from my glass house. The way I do my mascara to make it look nice for a video, let me see, like I've got my mascara here. In a video, I'll be like doing all of this because it looks nice. That's not how anyone does their mascara. They're literally like up like this in the mirror, but obviously you're not going to do that when you've got like your 30-second reel that you want to look nice. So no shade to like the pipette crew, but what I will say is I would never do that with any of my skincare. However, with the drops, if I've already tanned my body and I can't wash my hands, I'll moisturise all over. I will have moisturised before any tan went anywhere. Then I will squeeze, it's like a little squeezer pump, squeeze a few directly onto my face and buff them in using this double-ended Sculpted by Aimee brush, which I actually can't remember. I promise you I do wash these all the time. I can't remember if this was originally bronzed or it's just seen too many drops in its time, but genuinely that is quite soft to buff all over. And then I will often keep this completely clean to buff the hairline and make sure there's no harsh lines. Love that. Now then, this I was skeptical of, or I just kind of thought, how's this going to go? The Tan-Luxe the Creme for your face is a moisturiser with the tan mixed into it. Now, I was panicking about the hairline. If I've moisturised my face, how do I buff this around the hairline without having loads of moisture in my hairline, in particular if you've got fine hair? If this video is so niche, I feel like there's going to be a handful of us that really need to know all of these things, so this is for us. And if you're not one of those handful and you think, oh my god, there are just such bigger things to be worrying about than your hairline, feel free to just scroll on and find something else, because I appreciate I'm going into an unhinged level of detail here. This cream goes on so beautifully, the most golden tan. Again, sometimes with richer formulas, they don't give you the coverage that you want. Not even the coverage, sorry. They don't go as golden as you want them to go. This will really densely hydrate your skin and still give you the golden glow. I really like it. What I would say, if you're particularly sensitive, is I'd stick to your everyday cream that you already use and mix in the drops. But if you're not super sensitive or you want something a bit easier, that is fantastic. Speaking of drops, I don't know how I hadn't tried these. I've recently discovered the Garnier Ambre Solaria Natural Bronzer Self-Tan Drops. They are wicked. They're high street price point, really, really good, really large bottle. They're quite a golden colour. So a lot of these gradual tans, you're thinking, is anything ever going to show up? This shows up really quickly. If anything, my suggestion to you with these would be go nice and easy and don't go putting too much on in one go. They are absolutely lovely. I'm really, really glad I found those. So I've done my face tans. Let's just recap the best thing ever. The James Read Self Tan Coconut Dry Oil is absolutely wicked. It is, as it says, like a coconut smelling oil. You put it all over. The next day, especially if you're fair like me, it's like you've put 2 layers of tan on. It's so golden, it's so hydrating, It's just my favourite thing. I absolutely love it. It's not always the easiest to come by. If you're watching this, James, I actually meant to say James is one of my favourite people in beauty. He's always really honest if he like tweaks a formula or changes something, and I meant to message him and say this hasn't been the easiest to find, is there something different coming out or what? So who knows, or it might just be that where I was shopping for it was a little bit harder to find recently. But absolutely, I've never used another tan like that in that kind of oil formula, and it is so rich and hydrating, and your skin feels really soft after it because it's just so quenching. It's absolutely lovely. I've used that for years. I love it. Speaking of just like quenching the skin, I thought I'd also show you, that's run out. I kept a few, I've been keeping empties this year to show you, and then it was going on and I wasn't really filming as much, so I threw some of them away, but I kept these. Avene XeraCalm moisturiser, lovely for under your tan, really hydrating but not sticky. I love the Roche Posay Lipikar, whether this is under your tan or in general, a lovely, rich, buttery moisturiser. Rich and buttery with a bit more slip. Absolutely love Aveeno. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant brand. In terms of before your tan, it really catches any dryness in your elbows, knees, ankles, wrists. Even, oh God, my hands have been so dry this year, and I find that I'm really dry all around there. Remind me to tell you, here's me, remind me to tell you, talking to my own phone in my living room. What I do here when I've finished is the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream, the lipstick, the lip balm that I have like by my bed. I will rub a little bit of that just into these areas so that if any tan has gathered there, it hopefully prevents it. But back off that tangent, the Aveeno I find is lovely to like quench any of those dry patches, and you get a lovely even tan when you've prepped your skin with it. I'm using a few different things from Aveeno at the moment. They have like a lovely balm for the body that I wouldn't use with a tan because it's just not going to help the tan to stick as well. The whole point is that it's almost so densely moisturising that it wouldn't be the perfect partner for a tan. But really, really lovely. I'll touch on those separately if that's of interest, but my skin is just very kind of dry at this time of year. Now, new things that I've found that are just absolutely wicked. Isle of Paradise Express Self Tanning Mousse. I took this to Glastonbury, which was end of June, and I saw Jules in the middle of September, and I had opened this at the end of June. I used it at Glastonbury. The first night I was like, I know, this was my first Glastonbury, by the way. Let me just kick my slippers off. I've got a bit of a dead leg. First night, it's swelteringly hot. I was just thinking, oh, I do need a bit more colour. Just quickly put a layer of this on. I didn't obviously have any of these frills, just this and a matte, and go for it and hope for the best. It lasted so well. It came out really well considering how hot it was. Lasted really well. And something I would say that I found with this that is so unique to it is it fades off really evenly. I never get in the shower with patches. The way this fades off is just so even that you don't feel awful when it's coming off. I can't recommend it enough. I've got to be honest, I've never used it because it says hello 30-minute glow. I've never used it as an express tan. I always tend to sleep in my tan, so I'll use it quickly and see how it works. It's so even, because it's a foam. I hate foams usually. I really don't like them, and they're not what I would go for. It's a silky foam. It feels really hydrating. You've got a guide colour with it as well, so you know exactly what you're doing. That has been one of my favourite new products in general that I've discovered in years. And I really like Isle of Paradise and always have done, but I don't think I'd get any other Isle of Paradise tan now apart from this one. So I got it in, opened it end of June, saw Jules middle of September, and I'd only just bought my second bottle, and that is what I used, I would say roughly twice a week that whole time, and that's how long it took to run out. So if that was end of June, let's say all of July, all of August, half of September, roughly 10 weeks using it twice a week. Brilliant. This is very new to me. You can see I've only just started using it. The Tan-Luxe, again, Express Mousse that I haven't used for express purposes. Oh my God. Like, Tan-Luxe is one of those brands, I'll be really honest with you. I've used it before and I really like it, but it's almost so hyped that you're a bit like, it can't actually be as good as everyone is going on. Like, it's so, so nice, but I see so much like over the top praise for it. I am now one of the over top praisers. Like, it's absolutely lovely. Again, a silky mousse that's really hydrating, the most golden even tan. What I would say with this as well is I was panicking that there's no guide colour, it just goes on, but it came out really evenly. I mean, if I'm really honest with you, like, they're both lovely. There's not really any reason why I'd choose one over the other. I'm looking at this while I talk to you. Just another one that I'd really recommend. So I just want to give you a few ideas, because you might go into a shop one day and one of them's 20% off, or one of them, you know, appeals to you a bit more than the other one. These are all things I'd recommend, and you know, you choose whatever feels right for you. A quick one that is lovely, the Tropez Instant Glow Body Bronzer is an instant tan and it dries to like a matte finish. Absolutely love that. I wore that on a swelteringly hot day. It was the day after Emma's wedding. It was so hot, and had to get ready really quickly because we'd come back from the wedding. We were going straight out again the next day. It clung really well despite it being so hot. It went on really evenly. It looked really natural. Nice strong colour as well. Like, it really felt like a couple of layers of tan. I really liked that, and if you wanted something there and then, I think it would be really natural looking. A couple of housekeeping things that I need to mention. I always use the Isle of Paradise brush to go over hands, here, all around here I would do. It's absolutely lovely and it makes a huge difference to how evenly your tan comes out. Can't recommend that enough. That washes really nicely as well. What I would say with that, when you wash it, so wash it as you would do your makeup brushes and leave it on the side to dry. That's going to take longer to dry because it is so dense. So make sure you're not tanning for a couple of days before you wash it. This is absolutely like disgusting. Shouldn't be showing you it, but you know, we're all friends. This mitt even with the little thumb in it is brilliant. Where is this even from? Xen Glow. Love that for me. Love the Xen Glow. Nothing to do with tan, but while we're generally talking about body, I've been using these Ingrown hair pads from First Aid Beauty. I've gone through several of those this summer. If you are a shaver, they are absolutely lovely. They really help to prevent any bumps. I use them as often as I can, in particular like the night before if I was going to shave the next day, or on a day that I've shaved, I'll use them from the day after because I feel like I don't want to be putting anything too strong onto freshly shaved skin. But it's things like that when you've done all of that prep, you're less likely to have the tan gathering in those little like strawberry skin things that depending on what your hair is like I've got curly hair, so I do have to split up a shave day and a tan day where possible to avoid those little bumps. But if I'm honest, who's got time for that? A lot of the time it all happens on the same day, on your like absolutely huge shower day. So it's just a nice one to help prevent those. And then I've got to show you this. Like, this has been one of those TikTok products that you're like, are these videos real or what's going on? The Rose and Caramel Purity Excel 60 second self tan remover. This is that stuff that, like, have you seen that one girl that always does the videos and she'll be fully tanned and she'll do like a heart of this and leave it 60 seconds and then wipe it off? It definitely gets your tan off. Like, if you have patches or you want to get everything off to do a fresh tan or something, it's really good. What I will say is, like, even now the smell, I want the lid back on it. It's an astringent product. Like, you feel, I mean, I've got sensitive skin, but you feel that you've got something quite active on when you come to use this. It does get the tan off, and I really recommend it. And like, I wouldn't be without it now. It does get you out of a tight corner, but do be aware that you're using something quite strong on your skin is what I would say. But definitely the videos of how this removes tan are surprisingly absolutely correct. And then the other thing I was going to tell you about, I was thinking then, what did I remind myself on when I was doing that? I haven't brought it down. I use FaceHalo, have a body halo that's about that big, and it's a huge mitt that's like soft and padded on one side and like an exfoliating glove on the other side. That's really good to help to like get rid of any tan, but in particular really good to give a good scrub to elbows, knees, ankles, all of those places before you tan. Another thing I need to tell you about, and I feel like my tan is always as good as like how much patience, time, all of that I've put in. I feel like I've had so many questionable tans, in particular on my videos, that I feel bad even like dragging all of these poor people down with me that have worked hard on these lovely brands. Jules, founder of Isle of Paradise, Jules von Herp, he did this brilliant TikTok about how to get an even tan on your hands, and basically he said you've moisturized your hands anyway, you've put your tan on, you're going to rub it all in, then you're going to buff with a towel that your palms of your hands, moisturize again after that. Sorry, I think you do your moisturized tan, moisturize again, rub it all in, then buff the excess off the palms of your hands. That tip has been making such a huge difference to how even my tan is. I would really recommend that. But yeah, just fancied a little chat today, really. I keep, whenever I pop back up, I'm like, the videos are coming back soon. I'm just going to be realistic for the two of us. I don't know when the videos will be back regular, like all the normal chats, everything. But I feel quite confident that things seem to be all starting to look up, and that won't be too much longer. But I've really missed doing all the regular videos. I'm really looking forward to getting back into what is literally my favourite hobby. And the tan one felt like a nice one to kick myself back off with, because that is the most needed product that I've had this year over any makeup, over anything else. I've really made sure that whatever's going on, I've kept it with my tan. But listen, lovely to chat to you. 23 minutes is as good a time as any to call it a day, I think. I hope you're keeping really well. Let me know as well if you've got a favourite tan that you enjoy using. Another one I'm just thinking I forgot to mention that's lovely if you want a gradual tan is the James Read Sleep Mask, which is a clear gel, and as the name suggests, you sleep in it. It gives a gradual wash of colour, but that doesn't stain your sheets, so that's a lovely one. But listen, take care, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll chat to you very soon.